Hello everyone, this is Aditya Pratenge, CA Inter Taxation. It had been a long time since I uploaded a video, so I'm happy that I'm making a video today. So in this video, we will be talking regarding your paper 3, which is your taxation, which is one of the most feared subjects by everybody. I read all your comments also saying, bro, please make a video about tax. And even when I uploaded a video about costing, I got a lot of comments saying, as you feared about costing, we fear about tax. So don't worry. Even that's why I didn't set a unrealistic target of 60 plus or 70 plus in tax, because I know the halat of tax, and usually our aggregate is met by advanced accounts and law. So we need around 50 marks to clear your paper. So I'm here with a strategy to score 50 plus. Just follow the points I mentioned in this video, and 50 plus is a very doable target. So let's go. So first of all, in our old syllabus, we had 60 marks of DT and 40 marks of IDT. We used to think for 60 marks we have to study so much. But in the new syllabus, guess what? The same syllabus you have to study for 50 marks. So even more studies of 50 marks. But the good thing is, IDT has been increased to 50 marks. So my recommendation would be, your emphasis should be more on IDT than your DT. Many students have a doubt whether should I really write the section number, do they carry marks? Don't worry, do not emphasize too much on section numbers. Even if you don't write it, it's fine, but be sure to write all the provisions properly. So let's talk about IDT first, how to go with it. You all know that we have a 8 marker IDT sum, where that you see you calculate the ITC available, then you set off with the ITC balance, then come at the net ITC which is to be paid by cash. So that 8 marker question, you have like 14-15 sums in the ICAI module. Solve each and every one of that sum. At the end, you should have the reasonable assurance, as they say, that at least out of 7 or out of 8 marks, you get at least a minimum of 6 marks. And even in GST, you get direct questions like, in what cases are ITC blocked, or on what cases it will not be treated as a supply. So you get 5 marks questions. Even in my attempt, I got this. So it's easier to get 5 marks, because you hardly take around 7-8 minutes to write that 5 marker question, whereas when there are sums, it takes a longer period of time. So read all the provisions properly. So when you get direct questions, right, in IDT, it's much easier to quote the provisions. People focus more on the 5 heads of income and DT, which are the 5 sources of income. If imagine you have 100 hours for preparation of DT, they dedicate almost 70 hours to this main 5 heads. So, but I would recommend you guys to give justice to the other chapters as well, which is your residential status, clubbing, set off, carry forward, these chapters, and TDS, TCS, deduction chapter. All this also carry equal good amount of marks in your paper. So I would suggest you to focus more on this too, because you will have questions on these as well. So focus on this too, okay? Don't ignore this. And when you're presenting the tax paper, right, you don't have much time. What people generally do is, they pick up the 14 marker question, which is the first question. Never ever do that. That will be like consuming 1 hour of your exam time, and when you look at the clock and you realize you have 85 marks remaining and you have 2 hours left, that is when you break down. So my suggestion is, always go attempt your GST part once first. Attempt all your GST completely, and then switch to DT. Write the other than the 40 marker question, which is like 5 marks, 10 marks question. Attempt that 1 or 2 questions, and then come to the MCQs. Take around 40-45 minutes for the MCQs, and then when all the questions are done, at the last take up the 14 marker question and do it. And trust me, when I did my 14 mark also, I got 2 out of 14. I saw one section of ATC, I wrote the provision of ATC, and this was the amount deductible, 1,50,000, and I wrote one more point. For that, I spent like 3 minutes on the question and I got 2 marks. So that was a good return on investment, right? So that is what you should do. And do your RTPs, as I say, and do your mock tests. Try to complete all the illustrations in the ICAI module. If you do the illustrations in the module, yes, that is fine. Go through all the provisions, because if your provision is strong, you will be able to solve the sums. And writing practice is must, because in the first attempt, I did all the provisions. I knew the provisions very well, But when I saw the paper, the applicability on how I should solve the sum with the provision, I couldn't grasp it. So I would suggest you guys to focus more on solving the sums along with provision reading. To go on reading the provisions, because you will have to solve the sums as well. Keep this in mind. The more you solve the sums, the better. That's it for this video, guys. All the best. Jai Anjaneya.